host, Lakia Barnett. Welcome to Facing Purpose. I am so glad and so excited to be doing this tonight. This is the very first show. I am, triple excited, lost for words to be able to have a platform to do what it is that I'm called to do. And I welcome everyone who's on the call tonight. And I just pray that you are blessed when you leave here because really that is just my job is to inspire and motivate people into, facing their purpose. And tonight, since it's the first show, I just want to kind of get personal with you guys to kind of bring you into my world so that you can know who I am and who you are exactly dealing with. Um, I definitely, have a testimony. I'm a walking testimony. Nothing's perfect about me. I'm, a mother, a lovely mother to three beautiful kids, and I have my husband, and we have been married for over 9 years, and it has really been, a storm, and it's been a roller coaster. Not bad, not good. It's just, life. And I'm an advocate for anybody who's been married or who's been looking to get married that things are, you know, they're not made to be easy. And it just brings us back to the name of this show, which is Facing Purpose. You have to face it head on, regardless of how you feel, regardless of, the fears that may come about, because they're going to be that when you're walking into your purpose. So, I'll start by just giving you a little brief background about me. And in 2013 was the hardest year for me. I lost everything. And it was nothing that was inspected. And I keep telling people all the time, like, you never, ever expect to go through these things. Life happens. You can't really prepare for it. Life just happens. And what happened to me was we lost jobs back to back, and it began to get hard, and it began to be a test of our marriage, and it began to be a test of my own self-will, knowing who I am and figuring out who I was. There were life lessons in everything that happened to me. And what happened was we were, robbed at gunpoint and invaded privacy of a house that I called my home for 7 whole years. And it really, it tarnished me. It broke me because I wanted to know, why was my family going through all of this? Why did we have to go through all of this? At that time, I just couldn't see anything else but being broken and just wanting to hide away and go somewhere and, not ever wanting to come out again because of what I was experiencing. And I literally had to get on my knees and, pray and ask God to help us through this because it was just too much. Having young children and having to explain to them what's going on and they really don't know. It just was a lot. And what ended up happening was we ended up, losing our home of 7 years because we just couldn't do it anymore. We couldn't, afford to be there. But we were actually forced out. We didn't even get a chance to exit out. We were actually evicted. And from there, life got harder. Because then at that point, it's like, okay, where are my friends? Where are my family? Where's these people that was in my house every day, when this happened? You find out who people are when you go through circumstances. And sometimes you have to hit rock bottom to even be able to know, the test that you're going to have to go through. And for us, it was just that we were being tested. It was about, learning how to fend for ourselves, learning how to take what was given to us, doing things we were uncomfortable doing. We were at a lot of uncomfortable places. We had to learn to just accept the moment and what are you going to do with it when that moment happens. And I just made it up in my mind that I was not going to lose. I chose to win. And the thing was, I wanted to be an inspiration to people who were going through similar situations. So when I had to go into a shelter, I had to go back into my hometown, which is Washington, D.C., and I had to be there in homelessness. I didn't tell family. I didn't tell anybody anything because I was so ashamed of what had happened to us. And really, you're not supposed to be ashamed, but at that point in my life, I was. I didn't, you know, I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to be, you know, noticed at the time. I kind of stayed hidden for a long time because I was like, no one's going to understand this. Everybody's going to be judgmental to what happened to me and my family, when really I was looking at it wrong. And as time went on, I fought it. I fought what God had already implanted in me from day one. You kind of see things and you're like, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that. But God is saying, no, you can't do it this way. You got to do it my way or no way. So it gets lonely. It gets lonely when you have to walk that walk by yourself and you're not, you don't have any instructions telling you to go this way or that way. And I really started to learn about myself. Being thrown into homelessness has really taught me values of life. It's taught me, how to love hard and how to fight hard for what I wanted for my family. And out of that came purpose. Not what I wanted to do, but what God had already planned for me to do. So I took all of my energy, all of my being, and I just, I really laid before God and I asked him, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? Because something is not right. Something is off. I don't feel right. So when you get to that point in your life and you've made a decision that you're going to do something different and that you're going to find out what your purpose is, it becomes a little easier. Things get a little easier for you in your mind when you accept it, because it starts with your mindset. You have to change it. You can't do the same things that you've been doing. You have to change your mindset, because even though you're in struggle, and I know it can be anybody tonight that has gone through struggle, and it doesn't have to necessarily be in homelessness. It can be in, not being able to pay a bill, or, not being able to, go grocery shopping like you want. If you're on food stamps, a lot of people don't even like to admit these things, but there's nothing wrong with it. You go through what you have to go through, and you learn from it, and you keep going. Because guess what? 9 times out of 10, it ain't about you anyway. Your story is for somebody else. So facing purpose means that you're going to go through the tears. You're going to go through the I don't know and the doubts and the, oh, I'm going to be by myself. I ain't going to have no friends over here. Like, so what? You have to do what you have to do to get to where you need to go. And for me, that meant fighting through every obstacle I had to jump to do what I had to do. So I never would have written a book. I never would have done that. Slave Pray Believe is now on Amazon as a result of me taking the leap of faith, because I accepted that God had other plans for my life, and it wasn't about me from the beginning. I was always the kid that was in arts. I love dancing. I love singing. I just love it all, and it's all good and fine, but God is saying, well, yes, I gave you those gifts, but that's not what I want you to do right now. And, we have a tendency of being so hard-headed, because God can put these things in your path and you still will miss it. You have no idea how many times I ran around in circles and bumping my head because I didn't take the heed when he first gave me the sign. And it's okay. We all have a tendency of being hard-headed. But what are you supposed to do with that? You are supposed to take the value out of that and do what it is that you are called to do. Accept it. Stop running from it. Face your purpose. So, initially after I'd written my book, I decided that I wanted to go a little further with it. I said, you know what? I'm so inspired by the women and the people that I've seen being in the situation that I'm in. What else can I do to help them, or how else can I inspire them? I chose to take Facebook as a platform to breathe life into people who were hiding behind their computers. And what I mean is, there are a lot of people who are on Facebook, on Twitter, on Periscope, all the Facebook things. All of these people have lives, and they all have something that they're going through. Nobody has ever really took the time to stop and say, hey, how are you doing today? Are you doing okay? Giving them some motivation. It's always drama, drama, drama. Sometimes people need to be fed and encouraged so that they can move on, because you never know what they're facing. A lot of people hide behind their smiles. They hide behind, the Facebook, because Facebook is just an open arena. It's just an open arena to do what it is that you want to do. It's a playground for people to play and manipulate and to do those things. But people are not using these platforms to feed people what they need to be fed. So I decided to be different. I'll let you into my life and my journey so that you can see that it's not all what it cracks up to be. I have no shame in my game. I will tell you, exactly what I'm going through. I'll tell you what I've been through. I'll tell you what I'm still facing. And it's okay. Like, your purpose, no one is ever prepared for the hurdles that you have to jump when you're really on a journey to finding out who you are. And my message, for tonight to everyone is just to be true to yourself. Don't let anyone tell you anything different. Don't let anybody make you feel like you're doing something wrong, because everybody has to get to a point in their life where they can see themselves soaring past their situation. Being homeless was not something I chose, but because that door decided to come about, I had to make a decision whether I was going to allow it to kill me, or was I just going to take what was given to me and push past the adversity, all of the he say, she say. Oh, they never going to get back on their feet, or it's going to take them too long to do this or do that. No, I had the mindset that I'm going to be somebody, and I'm going to do it right here where I am. Because you have people looking at you. Regardless if you know it or not, there's always somebody watching you. The one who deals with sorrow when no one's looking, and the one who deals with that pain of being hurt and, not being able to have anybody to talk to, there's somebody watching you. It's always an assignment for you. You don't never know it until you walk through it a little bit. And then once God sees that you can handle a little bit, he'll give you more. And then he'll start to show you the things that you need to see. A lot of you face purpose every day. You face purpose with your children. You face purpose in your marriage. You face purpose with yourself. You're battling with yourself every day to make a decision on, what am I going to do? What is going to be different today? Am I going to continue to do what I want to do, or I'm just going to bow down and I'm going to do the thing that God wants me to do? There is a difference. Fear plays a part in that too. Me writing my book was the biggest thing that I've ever had to do, because that was letting myself, be revealed about personal things that happened in my life while going through homelessness. You have to be open. And a lot of people are afraid to be open because they're afraid of what others might say about them. But you can't worry about that, because people are always going to talk. They're always going to have something to say. They're always never going to understand you. You're always going to feel like an outsider, but that's okay, because God is supposed to comfort you. He is supposed to be the one that you turn to when you feel like everybody has left. And your strength is within God. And my thing is, like, you have to, like, just say yes to it. Stop fighting it. You know, the moment that I began to realize what I was capable of, it was nothing else stopping me but me. And it's really like you change your mindset, you change the people in your space. If you have friends telling you, oh, don't do this, don't do that, oh, you can't do this while you're in this situation, or you don't have enough income to do this, you don't have enough, or who's going to babysit the kids? So you have to eliminate everything that is negative. You have to take all of your well-being and turn it into positivity. You can't worry about who you're going to leave behind, because I was always told everybody can't go with you where you're going. Your destiny is not for everybody. You might lose people along the way when you decide that you're going to make a decision in your life to do purpose. When purpose comes into play, a lot of dysfunction comes, because people are realizing, okay, well, she's not going to do it this way, or he's not going to do it this way like this anymore. And some people can't accept that. And it's fine. Let it be what it is and keep it moving. And for me, I am an advocate for mothers and fathers everywhere. I, in the process, found out about my two kids, my boys. They had learning disabilities. I had no idea. Do you honestly think that I didn't cry and ask myself, what did I do wrong? How did this happen? What did we do? And I had to have people tell me it was nothing you did at all. And we tend to blame ourselves for things we have no control over. And God took that thing and turned it around for something good. And these boys, you will never, ever look at my sons today, and you will see that they have a learning disability. You wouldn't even know unless you personally sat with them every day. And these children are like the light of my life. They keep me going. And the same thing with you, to that father and that mother that have children with disabilities, and you try to hide them and you try to suppress your feelings about how you're feeling. Talk to someone. Let people know how you're feeling, because you can't deal with those things by yourself. You need a support system. And there are special people that God has already placed in your life to help you with those things. So I need, tonight is about recognizing and facing your purpose. And facing purpose has so much attached to it. People don't understand. They think that it's easy. It's not easy at all. Me walking through these shoes every day has been an experience for me. Speaking to women everywhere who has given up on life because they had to come in a shelter, or, they didn't have the child's father around, or vice versa. Let's switch it around, because some men go through the same thing where the women are not even around. And guess what? You still have to be that leader and that example for those children, regardless of who's there or not, because you still have God. Don't leave him out. You still have him. Don't leave him out. It doesn't matter who's there. It doesn't matter if the grandparent ain't there, the mama ain't there. Guess what? It's all good. Because at the end, again, it goes back to it. Once you face purpose, there's no stopping you. Facing purpose has many different elements. And you travel through all of these different emotions when you're going through all of this. And I won't tell you anything. It's going to be hard, because there are things that you're going to have to let go that you don't want to let go. There are things that you're going to have to tap into so that you can see the better you. The better you comes out of pain. The better you comes out of your experiences. If you've never gone through anything, how can you help anybody if you've never gone through anything? I can get on this show tonight and give you advice about these things because I'm actually living it. I've walked through it. So I can tell you, I can breathe life and let you know that your situation is not always going to be your situation at all. It's never going to stay the same. It's only temporary. I've heard that so much, and I used to be like, what do you mean by it's only temporary? I'm still in here. Like, you have to, like, you understand that your road and your walk is not going to be somebody else's walk. But guess what? It's not about you. So, I want to give you some tips tonight on learning how to face your purpose and what to do, how to recognize it, right? I remember when I was writing my book, and I was just like, I don't know where I'm going with this book. I don't know what I wanted this to be. A long book, a short book. I was like, look, I'm just writing because that was my therapy for getting through what I had to get through. I never called my mom and my dad and buried them with all my problems. I try to stay away from that because I was like, look, this is my fight. I've learned everything I needed to learn from them. I took everything I needed to take from them. Now it's just time for me to be a big girl and do this, with my family. And it's going to hurt. You're going to cry. You're going to scream. I don't know how many times I've done that. Even still, today, there are moments where you break down because you're just like, really, God, cannot be it. This just can't be it. So after a while, I just started to take the focus off of myself for a minute. And you know how I began to see that my purpose was really right in my face the whole time? Because God kept initially putting the same thing in my face over and over and over, and I'm like, really? Did I miss something? I thought I was supposed to be over here dancing and singing and cutting records. He's like, nope, sorry, you're going over here where I told you to go. So we can keep playing this little game all you want, but you're going over here. And after a while, I was just like, really? And when people keep on coming to you, coming in your face, and you keep hearing the same messages over and over again, that's how you begin to recognize purpose. Purpose will chase you. It will chase you. It will haunt you. It will be a day in and day out that you will have to be like, you know what, I can't do this. I got to see what else is out there for me. I'm not happy. That's another thing. We're rolling into number 2. When you're not happy doing what you're doing, when you're not passionate about doing what you're doing. Some of y'all, let's just be real honest, y'all going out here, y'all taking these jobs, y'all taking these careers, y'all going to school. That's all well, good, and fine. But where is the passion? What keeps you awake at night? When the teacher's talking, what are you doing? Writing in your notebook, planning how you're going to dress this business up, how you're going to dress this house up, and things like that. You have to think about all of these things when you're facing purpose. You have to think about what is being shown before you that you're missing the signs. When you're missing the signs like that, you can't see it. And that causes you to keep running around in circles because you're not paying attention. And which leads me into number 3. When purpose comes for you, it's coming for you normally when you're at your lowest in your life. You're low. There's nobody else to turn to. You don't have a choice in this matter now to face purpose in the face. You got to be, you have to, again, go back to what the signs were in the beginning. And in the beginning, purpose made itself known, but you just chose to ignore it. You chose to ignore it because of the situation you in. You chose to ignore it because you got fired from your job. You chose to ignore because your wife left you, or your husband left you, or your boyfriend said he don't want to be around you no more, or your kids ended up in the hospital. Any little situation you chose to ignore purpose. Purpose doesn't care about all of that, to technically be honest. Purpose wants you the way that you are. You're the one who's worried about all of that. When purpose is saying, come as you are, I'll take you like that. I'll take you still smoking those cigarettes. I'll take you still doing these drugs. Come on, y'all. I'm telling you the truth. Purpose will come in all of those situations. Purpose loves when it can greet you at the face when you're on your knees crying and not knowing which way to turn. Because guess what? Somewhere in there, you've gotten the message that you had to do something different and you got to take a different road. It's so much that people miss. And I hear people say it every day. I see the young people that's in this world right now, and they're confused, they're lost, they're not, thinking straight. Some of them don't know whether they want to go left or right. But it's our job to go into these schools and our job to tell our children, you can be whatever you want to be. I don't care if you are living in a one-bedroom shack. You can still go and fulfill the call on your life, the passion that yearns that God gives you at the pit of your stomach when you wake up every morning. That's the one thing you go to, baby, you're supposed to be doing it. You don't ever let anybody tell you that you cannot do it because of your situation. Face it, purpose, it's really just what it is, your purpose. And that didn't mean that it wasn't going to come with, obstacles that you were going to have to jump. You got to jump them all. How do you think you're going to learn from it if you can't go through nothing? You got to go through something. I was always told, as long as you're a child of God, you're going to go through something. You're not escaping nothing. And don't let the glitz and the glamour or anything like that fool you. Don't place your eyes on what you see. Oh, because he got this and he got that. How do you know what he went through to have to get all of that? You don't know their story. So you can't focus on that. You got to stay focused on you. You got to focus on your plan. Get an action plan. Wake up every day and pump yourself. You don't need a soul to help pump you to do what you need to do. So what? You're a single mother with 3 kids. All right. You take your daily dose of prayer every day and you strive to do what you got to do. You say you want to go back to school. Go back to school. You say you want to open your business. Go open your business. You say you want to write this book. Go write your book. What is stopping you? You. Purpose is saying, I'm here. I've been sitting on this couch waiting for you for 2 years, 3 years, 6 months, and you still ignore me. I'm trying to tell y'all, purpose is real. Purpose will take you where you need to go. Purpose will make you understand who you really are. Purpose will give you a sense of fresh life. It will give you an understanding that you are somebody and you were perfectly picked to do a specific thing that nobody else in this world can do. I heard a message earlier today, and it says that God, He has who He's chosen to do great things. And you are the person that's chosen to do it. I don't know who I'm talking to on this live. I don't know. But I'm telling you that you cannot no longer sit on purpose anymore. You have to get it in your mind that I'm going to do this If it hurts my feelings every day and I got to cry getting through it, you got to do it. You have to do it for you, not for no one else, but also to flip that around, you do got to do it for somebody else, technically, because again, it's not about you. Somebody needs to hear your story. Somebody needs to to be able to come to you and say, "I'm going through this." What are you going to tell them when you see them? Are you going to tell them, "Oh, just go give up"? No. Somebody told you to keep fighting, so you got to tell them to keep fighting. And the one thing people don't understand is purpose likes to purposely throw things in your path to see what you're going to do with it. You want to know, how selfish are you really? How selfish are you? Are you going to excuse that this young girl says, "You know what? I don't like myself." This young man saying, I need to go out here and make me some quick money or this or that. What are you going to do? Purpose always lets you know it's there. It gives you scenarios, things that you don't even think would have came up and come up. But you can't drop the ball. You got to keep going. When homelessness hit my family, I thought the world was over. I said, "Oh my God, my dog, my shoes, what?" Like, if I had stayed in that moment and kept complaining every day, do you honestly think that I would have wrote that book? Do you honestly think I would have started that women's group? Do you honestly think that if my friend called me on the phone, I would be any good to him or her? Nope, because I'm so busy worried about what I lost. You can't worry about that, because guess what? God will give you double for your trouble. I heard that so many times, and I was like, why do y'all keep telling me that? I just lost everything. So what? Come on, y'all. I'm telling you. Get it in your mind that you're going to be great. Get it in your mind that you're not a failure. Get it in your mind you will be successful beyond measures. I've always been told through this process, stop looking at God like he's something small. He's bigger than you. He knows your end before your beginning. He knows your beginning before your end. So you got to check yourself out. Are you walking in your purpose today? Are you still doing just to make it? Are you challenging yourself? Are you finding out the things that God has already instilled in you, or are you just sitting on it again? You got to know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Hell or high water, I'm going to do it. Because you have nothing to lose at the end of the day. Nothing. Taking this step to come onto a platform like this was major decision for me, because I battled in doubt. I said, you know what, that's too much. I can't do this. But something in me just would not let me turn away from the opportunity to speak into lives of other people who may need inspiration or motivation. So that also goes back to fear. Fear can stop you from doing a lot of stuff. It can make you scared. It can make you feel, oh man, I can't do this. Yes, you can. You have to push past yourself. You have to allow God to heal you in the places that you've been broken and bruised and battered and ran on and stumped on. You gotta clear all of that. I always have been told, and I've always heard, that your purpose lies in your brokenness, in your pain. It lies there. Because when you're at your lowest moment, that's when things come out of you that you never even knew. I never knew that I can do 40 different ponytail styles until I got in this situation. You learn how to fend for yourself when you're going through like this. Because guess what? The next person might not even be there to do it for you. God will give you skills. He will give you skills. When I had my daughter, I was like, yo, I cannot cornrow. I can't do none of that. But when she came here in my life, it wasn't no longer I can't anymore. It was, I'm going to do it. I'm going to learn it. I don't care if I got to get on YouTube and stay on YouTube all night long to do what I need to do, because that was my gift from God. I prayed for her. And I said, through hell or high water, I can't do a lick of smack of hair, but we're going to learn it today. You got to. You got to. The little things like that, God will do measures in your life because he sees that you're persistent, that you're serious about your destiny. You're serious about the change. You're serious about progress. Some of you are still basking in your head on what to do. What is the next step? Should I make this move? Should I jump into this house? Should I go, sign up for a business loan? Should I go write this book because I know my story is going to help the next? Why are you pondering about this? I said that if I ever got the chance to do what I'm doing, I'm going all in. All bets is off. You either like me or you don't. You either accept me or you don't. And that's what kind of attitude you got to have when you're finding and on the route of seeking purpose. You got to rule out everything. Anything that don't mean well, you got to cut it off. Anything that's not going to help you propel through your destiny the right way, you got to cut it off. Change and adapting was always my issue. I never could adapt to things. It took me a while to adapt to being in a situation where I had no control. That is my problem. That was my problem. I never liked it that I couldn't control things. And God had to teach me, you're not control over anything. I am. When you're living in shelters and things like that, you got to abide by rules. You got to abide by rules. Some of you don't even know how fortunate you are every day that you get to wake up in your own home. And some of y'all still complaining. Oh, I got to pay this bill. I can't go get these shoes today. What do you mean? You got a home. Why are you complaining? There's people around here that's in way worse situations than you. My dad has always taught me you can be in a way worse situation than this. And I'm looking at him like, really? No, this is bad. But you have no idea. And I'm so glad that, I can talk to you guys and let you know that facing purpose, you got to. You don't have a choice. Well, you do, but you're not going to be happy until you make the right decision to face purpose. You're not going to be happy at all. And I want to know, how you guys are feeling and what are the things that you want to talk about and discuss going forth on this beautiful platform. I just want to, give you guys an opportunity to tell me what are the things that you would like to talk about. Because I'm open to everything, and I'm open to just hearing you guys' testimonies and the things that you're going through. You should never be ashamed to talk about those types of things, because that's where your breakthrough comes in at, when you talk through it. And sometimes it ain't even all about talking. It's about taking time to meditate. I want you guys to take time to meditate. Meditate to yourselves. No kids, no husband, no wife, no spouse, none of that. Sometimes it's okay to take a breather and say, I need this time for myself so I can figure out what I'm doing. You might have to regroup and come back to the table later. Be who you are. Be who you are inspired to be. I like vision boards because I did a vision board early this year with my cousins, and I love them dearly. And that was my first time doing a vision board. And almost everything except for two things have came to pass off of that vision board. And I believe that when you set a plan, sometimes you have to write it. I will say that. Sometimes it's not enough just to speak it. You have to write it so that you can, see it for yourself. You can pray over it and, help it meditate, manifest itself. So for me, when I saw that vision board, I knew exactly what I wanted to go on there. And I knew exactly what I wanted to do with it. And there's two things left. And I can honestly say before 2018, I believe and I have faith that those last two things on my vision board will be accomplished. And that's what you have to do. You have to set a plan of action. And you have to stick to it. Because things are going to come up. Things are going to come in your, in your space. And life is going to continue to happen. But you have to stay concentrated on the goal and the plan at hand. And when you do that, it'll make you feel better that you stuck to it. Some of us will start something and don't finish it. Oh, I'm going to go get my cosmetology license this year. You'll go to school half of the time. And then when something happens, oh man, I gotta go. I can't do this. And then guess what? You haven't completed it. Don't start something and don't finish. Finish it. Because you cannot grow doing that. You have to finish it. Finish what you start. If you started writing that book, finish it. Ain't nothing holding you back but you. It's a guaranteed result along with your faith, because faith is like a force. And you have to be careful what you say out of your mouth and who you're saying it to. Everybody ain't for your vision. There are a lot of people who would rather see you fall on your face than to actually support what you're doing. And most of them are in your inner circle. Now, how about that? I'm going to let that rest on you for a minute because it's real. You can have a friend that's right in your face that can be wishing you all the wrong to happen to you, because it could be jealousy, it can be, envy, it can be anything. And don't think for a second that it won't bypass you. Somewhere in your journey, you're going to encounter that. You're not escaping it. And it's going to come to you by surprise because you're expecting for that person to give you support, to push you along in what your endeavors are. But guess what? 9 times out of 10, those are the people that sometimes are rooting for you to fail. Because they're like, what? She talking about doing this? Like, how you going to do it? With what money? You got to be careful who you spill your visions to. The only person you should be telling your vision to is God, and that's it. And sometimes it has to be like that because people will mark you. They'll plot on you to fail. They'll plot for you to drop the ball. They'll wait for you to drop the ball. You got to be careful with all of that when you're facing purpose. You'll see the real people step forward. When the real you step forward, the real people will step forward. And you'll see them for who they've always been. No cover up. Because you saw the signs in the beginning. So there's no covering that. So that goes back to you paying attention to what was already in front of you in the beginning. Faith and purpose got a lot to it, y'all. It got a lot to it. And y'all have to be ready. You got to be ready. You got to be suited and booted. You got to have your armor on. You got to have your mask on, your gloves on, your boots on, everything. You got to be covered from head to toe when you're battling and you're finding your purpose like that, because everything is going to come at you. When you weren't doing anything and you weren't thinking about starting that business or writing that book or opening up this restaurant, everything was quiet. But as soon as you decide that you're going to change your mind and your mindset, that's when all hell breaks loose. Hello? All of it. All hell breaks loose. So you got to be prepared. You got to know the signs when they're set before you. You got to know the signs. Facing purpose is really a walk of your faith. It's knowing who you are, discovering who you really are. Who are you? Who are you? If you don't know who you are, how do you expect for anybody else to know who you are? You're waking up every day doing the same thing. You're not happy. You're complaining. Take a look at the signs. They're there. Now it's time for you to pay attention to them. Pay attention. Pay attention to your mind and what it's saying to you. You have to stay focused. Stay focused. There's no other way around it but staying focused, staying true to you. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do it. You can't do it. There's no such thing. Get a plan of action. Boost your confidence every day. Look in the mirror if you got to and say, you know what? I'm the beast at writing. I'm the beast at singing. I'm the beast at dancing. I'm the beast at, doing hair. You got to encourage yourself. If don't nobody else walk past you today and say, boo, you doing your thing, look, it don't even matter because you don't need nobody to boost you. You can boost yourself. You got to aim higher. Stop looking low. Stop looking at other places to fulfill what's empty with you. I always say do a self-check. Why am I crying today? Why am I walking around here with an attitude today? Why do I feel like a ton of bricks fell on me today when I woke up? You have to explore you. Get to know you. Don't ignore why you're feeling the way you're feeling, because 9 times out of 10 it's because you're unhappy about your life. You're unhappy about what you're doing. You have to, just continue to press through whatever you're going through. Even the days that you don't feel like it, you have to continue to press through. Continue to follow through your plans. Continue to see your vision. I always say, see yourself in what you want to do. If you can't see it, nobody else can't see it either. But at the same time, a lot of people are not going to see the vision. They're not going to see it. They only see what your situation is. They only see that you're going through a hard time right now. They only see that you just lost your job, and they're like, okay, where is the other income going to come from? They're not seeing what you see. And it's all good. You can't make anybody see anything. And the sooner that you get that in your mind, that you can't change anybody's perspective of you, the better you're going to be. Faith and purpose, y'all, is key to everything. That's why I named the show Facing Purpose. Why? Because you face it every day. And some of us just skip right on past it. And it's sitting there with its legs crossed like, listen, the day that you make a decision that I'm here and I can help you get where you need to get, if you will only be obedient, then things can change. Not saying that things are going to be perfect, because nothing is perfect. You have to go through something. Don't ignore any of these things. From today on, I want you all to pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention to your feelings. Pay attention to your children. Pay attention to your husband. Pay attention to your wife. Pay attention to everything. Everything has a reason why it's happening to you. When I figured that out in this situation, it made it better for me. I wasn't miserable anymore. I wasn't sitting around watching the clock anymore. I just began to slowly walk into my purpose. And when you do that, you don't recognize time anymore. Time doesn't even live in that. When you finally get it in your head that, you know what, I'm going to do purpose all day long. You're never, ever comfortable in that. You're never, ever going to be comfortable yet. You just got to do it. Focus. Focus, focus, focus. Stop worrying about things that you cannot change. You can't change it for a reason. Why do you want to get out of it so quickly? Stay in it and learn something. That's what I heard. That's what I had to deal with. I couldn't just get out of this situation. It wasn't that easy. I had to learn something. I had to learn that when you're going and going through your purpose, you have to learn the lessons that are presented in front of you. Every obstacle has a lesson in it. Stop trying to skip it. You have to go through it. If that makes any sense to anybody, please take it tonight. Take it with you. You are chosen to do specifically what God chose it for you to do. Nobody else can do what you can do. I've been told that so many times, and I never understood it. But it's real talk. Nobody can execute the things that you can do. You can see a million things be repeated in this world every day, but there's no one like you. I hope I'm encouraging somebody. I hope I'm inspiring somebody, because I specifically kept hearing this, kept looking at this word, and I'm just like, faith and purpose, man, this is so many levels of this. You wouldn't even believe. But I'm so glad I followed and obeyed tonight, because I really feel that it will help you. It will help you move past the fears. It will help you move past the anxiety that you have in your minds when you're dealing with yourself and when you're dealing with the people that are around you. It'll help you to better focus in on what you need to be focused in on. So I'm so glad that I just allowed myself to be led enough to be able to speak to you and give you the tools to help you recognize purpose, and also to be able to face it and stop fighting it. I just hope and pray that you guys are touched and moved. I want you to share tonight about this show, because it's going to be a show that is going to touch on so many different levels of things that we ignore in everyday life. And I need people to understand that we all are vessels that are used to do something great while we're here on this earth. And for me, this was a huge step out. So I want to encourage you to tell the next person that you need to be on this broadcast next Tuesday at 8 o'clock. You need to hear Faith and Purpose. I keep telling y'all, it's not about y'all. It's about the next person. So you got to go delay the message. Now, I've given you the message. Now, you got to go tell somebody. Invite them. I know you all saw yourself in something I said tonight. And I hope that you do. And I hope that you take it and you do what you need to do with it. I'm so very blessed, you guys, to have this opportunity to be up and close and personal with you guys, to do what I need to do, and to encourage you and motivate you to keep it moving. I hope that you guys will return next week to hear what else is new. We have lots of guests coming on that I think that will be inspirational and motivational, and that are expertise in certain areas for you guys to apply it to your life. Please, please, please go and share and let everybody know that Faith and Purpose has hit the ground running. So just don't forget, to tune in on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. And I'm so very grateful to be able to be in you guys' life, and you guys can become a part of my family, and we can do great things. We're looking to go higher going into 2018. So I hope you guys are ready for the upcoming shows that are coming about. It's going to be awesome, and I can't wait. I cannot wait. So if you guys have any comments, any topics that you want to hear, please don't hesitate to, to leave it in the comment boxes, or, just inbox me on Facebook at Lakia Barnett. You guys, please, 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 I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear what things that you want to hear going forth, because naturally it's going to be about you guys. I want to know what you want to talk about and what are the things that you may be struggling with, and we're going to work through it. We're going to work through everything. We're going to work through finding the real you, okay? We're going to work through all of that. So no worries. Again, I appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. It has been awesome. And I just thank, God, for having another platform to do what it is that I do best. And again, it ain't about me either. So if it was in my normal state of mind, I would not be doing any of this. So God has to be in it somewhere, because I would not be doing this. So, I appreciate you guys so much. I can't wait to be able to speak more into your lives and, find out about everybody who's tuning in. I'm just so grateful. I'm really a loss for words. So thank you all. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I'll see you next Tuesday at 8 p.m.